Love interrupted by tragedy, lost in the drought of nightfall, running in search of the remedy, trying to find her place in it all, focused only on the negative. All she can attract is pain. Perception is what will manifest. Thought she could escape, but it's all the same. Birds fly south for the winter.
Welcome. Hey, okay, well, first of all, I know it's been a minute since I've done one of these, so thank you all for your patience. I actually got a couple messages like, when are you doing another wind down and chill? I just needed like a second to just kind of decompress and spend some time with my daughter and all of that, but we are back, and we are back with fierce, okay? We are back fierce. So as usual, I am going to kind of just let you guys know what I'm sipping on since we're here for Wind Down and Chill. So this is something that is brand new for me. This is actually hot water and lemon with a splash of Moscato. But I just warmed up some water, poured it into this glass. Here you too. Poured it into the glass. Had some hot water. I squeezed some lemon juice in it. Put some honey in it too. And then I did a splash of Moscato. And you guys, it is so good. It's so good. It's like my own version of a hot toddy. If you've ever heard of a hot toddy, usually I guess they use whiskey and it's really good for colds and stuff like that. I added Moscato because I don't have whiskey right now. Leave in the comments what you're sipping on, what you're drinking, what you might go grab to drink or whatever, because we are going to do a really quick clink clink. It's the last week of July, y'all. August is next week. We are more than halfway through the year, so we still have time to get those 2021 goals going. I know it's probably, for me, it's been a little bit more rough and all of that good stuff. So we're going to do a quick little clink, clink. Okay. So whatever you're drinking, let's just real quick, just raise your glass, clink, clink. We'll take a breath. We're just going to let the week melt away. Let last week melt away. A new day is here. We're just going to wind down and chill and get into some really, really good conversation. This particular topic, you guys, is on the art of self-sabotage. Just even saying that, I gotta take like one more And the reason why, instead of just calling it like self-sabotage or something like that, is because I feel like sometimes with self-sabotage, this is something that I've done, you know, and I sometimes do. Sometimes it happens in the most sneaky ways. Like it's the really small ways that you self-sabotage, that you kind of come between yourself and your goals. And sometimes you might not even realize that you're doing it. And it's something that you might even do every day. And you're like, man, why do I do that? Why do I have these negative thoughts? Why do I have these bad habits that literally keep me from doing what I say that I want to do? And it's something that happens so often. It's so easy to do. And those little thoughts and those behaviors and excuses, they can really just weave their way in so easily. So that's why I wanted to kind of talk about it. Me and my girl Rae are going to get this going. We had such an awesome conversation and I could not do this without her. So I am going to go ahead and get her in here. My girl Rae.
Hey. I'm outside because why not be outside? And so here we are.
Yes. Sometimes you just need a change of scenery, and you just need this fresh air. So I don't even blame you, especially because it's gorgeous. Now, Rae, why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and where you at right now? Because I'm jealous.
So what had happened was I am in Honolulu, Hawaii, on the island of Oahu. On the island of Oahu. I am pastoring a church here, First Christian Church of Honolulu, which is located in the lower Makiki area. I have been here for a little over 2 years. And so, yeah. And I'm sipping on because the pastor can't be sipping on
I know.
the non-communion wine on a Sunday. I shouldn't be sipping on the non-communion wine on a non-Sunday. You know what I meant. So I just have me a little Lanakai juice smoothie, a little local, you know.
Amen. Amen, Pastor.
However,
yes,
since the first miracle was water into wine, then every once in a while, might as well.
Hallelujah. Thank you for the non-judgment today. Okay.
No judgment at all from me. Oh no.
Yes,
Never
ma'am.
that.
And let me tell you this conversation I had with Rae around the art of self-sabotage. There were some moments where she was like, "No, Jen," and I was like, y'all know me, like, this is gonna hurt. This might hurt a little bit, y'all. This might hurt me a little bit.
It might.
But we are all here to just have honest conversation. I know for me, I'm not a professional, I'm not a therapist, I'm not anything like that. But I just like to have these conversations because they're just so interesting, and I see things on the internet all the time. So Rae, why don't you tell us, why don't you kick us off a little bit? So let's kind of talk about what self-sabotage actually is. So Rae, to you, what is self-sabotage? Like what would that mean if somebody asked you?
Self-sabotage, actually, I have a great example. So I'm going to give the definition and then the example. So self-sabotage really is, so let me say this. I am not a therapist, right? Like, I don't have a degree in self-saboteur. I probably should because I've done it enough, however, I think self-sabotage comes when we don't have enough confidence and belief in ourselves, you know, that we tend to do things to mess things up. It's a coping mechanism. You know, I'm gonna get you before you get me. I'm gonna pull myself out of this before they tell me no. You know what I mean? And so my example was this. I was out being grown because it's nice outside and I got a dress on. Hello, somebody. And so I said, let me walk around town so everybody else can see I got a dress on. And so I looked at the time. I was like, I got enough time, you know. I need to go to the restroom. Like, I can find my spot, you know, get my drink or what have you. And so as I'm leaving the parking lot of where I was, I'm like, okay, this is going to work out the way it needs to. I'm going to get to where I need to go on time. I'm going to have the good parking spot. Like, the line is not going to be long for the place that I'm going to get my drink from. I'm going to have the place that I need to sit, the whole nine. And so instead of being in a space of thinking of, oh my gosh, traffic is in the way and this is not going to work, like that's not going to work, I just let it go. So the self-sabotage part of that would have been, I just said what it was that I'm expecting, right? I just said what it was that I'm desiring, but for me to decide to play in my mind that it's all going to go wrong, and then I have nobody to blame but myself. That's why it's called self-sabotage. Because what we end up doing is that we play mind games with ourselves, right? We play mind games with ourselves. We see the thing we want. We say the thing we want. We visualize it this way and pray about it that way. And then we decide for whatever reason, because somebody else got to it first, or because we think somebody else is going to do a better job at it. We have these moments where we want it, but we don't want it bad enough to stop the commotion and the chaos that goes on here. And then when it doesn't work the way we want it to, we get mad. You ain't got nobody to be mad at but your own self.
And I feel like, honestly, we'll get into like break it down a little bit, but just hearing you say that, I think it comes from a deeper place, because at the end of the day, you know you have no one else to blame but yourself. But it's almost like you would rather blame yourself than give the control to someone else to have a different outcome. Like, I would much rather say, you know what, I'm just going to ruin it, and if it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out, but at least I'm in control. At least I kind of, I'm able to control the narrative, and that sometimes is a comfortable place for people. Even if it's negative, even if it brings negative results, even if it hurts you, even if it's not true, even if it's even if it's just passing on trauma, holding on to trauma from the past, you just don't want to let it go, and it ruins future opportunities for you. You would almost much rather hold on to it and hold on to that offense or whatever it is and self-sabotage future loving relationships because of something somebody did to you 30 years ago. You would much rather have that because comfort is in your control. I think she kind of froze a little bit. Girl, that's what you need to be doing outside, but I don't blame you. I don't blame you one bit, but we can still hear you, so that's all that matters, girl. We can still hear you. You still have your presence.
You can sing about it when you. Thank you, girl. When you talk about the fact that we're not letting go of like trauma and all of that kind of stuff, I posted something on my Facebook page yesterday, and at some point I am going to continue to delve deeper into it. What I posted on my Facebook page yesterday was, have we ever considered that Jesus and them, whoever it was Jesus sent out, including Jesus, did not allow people to remain in their feelings for too long. And that Jesus himself did not remain in his feelings too long. There are 3 instances in the New Testament where Jesus was in his feelings. The first was when that first miracle, when his mama was like, what I'm going to need you to do is go ahead and fix this. And he was like, Mama, it's not my time. And she talked to him in her teeth. She said, boy, if you don't go ahead and do it, you know how it is. You know how it is. The second time it happened, so there were 4 times. The second time it happened was when Lazarus died. Now, most theologians say that Jesus wept because the text says he wept because the people were weeping. But you can't tell me that as 100% man and 100% God that Jesus didn't feel some type of way about his best friend dying. Absolutely. Take that somewhere else, because I'm not buying it. The other time was when he was in the garden. He said, if it be your will, take this cup from me. But at the end of that, he was saying, not my will, your will be done. Yes. And then on the cross, when he said, my God, why have you forsaken me? But at the end of that, he said, into your hands I commit my spirit. So it's not to say that Jesus did not have feelings, but it is to say that he did not stay in them long. And that's what happens. We end up being in our feelings. You know, we get to thinking too much. We get to what ifing and what they're at your grasp, and you decided that you weren't good enough based on whose terms. Because the Bible says that before I formed you, I knew you. So I already knew all you were going to do, all you weren't going to do, and I still got this for you. So why are you playing? Exactly. Girl. Perfection and comparison are 2 major components of self-sabotage. You comparing yourself to what they showing you on social media, not realizing that there are behind the scenes and before the scenes and between the scenes and during the scenes that we'll never see. Right? We'll never see that stuff. All we see is the finished product, not knowing that they had to grovel and crawl on hands and knees, or the stuff that happened before all this took place, right? Yes. And then we feel like if there's one hair out of line, everything is messed up. That one hair that's out of line might save somebody's life, and you tripping on it. And then you questioning God, and God is like, I ain't got nothing for you. God shrugging his shoulders like, I ain't got nothing for you. I gave you everything you needed. Yep. Wow. Oh my. Yes. And you know, you said something so good when we had our I have to bring this up because it's the same. It goes right along with that. You said faith without works is dead. Yes. Part of the work is what's in your head. It is. Sometimes you think that the work is in the movement and it's in the doing. And it is. It absolutely is. But sometimes the work really is in your head. It's making sure that your mind is aligned, that you're staying close to God. Because sometimes when you just start moving and you start putting action to everything, but you haven't really gotten your mind right, you're missing a really important piece of your process. The reason why we self-sabotage is because we place our goal at the finish line and not in the race. We're so focused on getting there and making it and getting that house and getting that car and having that marriage, but we're missing the point. The process and the faith without works is dead is in the work. It's in our heads, what we do with our mind, how we keep our mind focused on what the true purpose is. And the purpose is in the process. The purpose isn't the house. The purpose isn't the car. The purpose isn't the ring. You know, the purpose literally is the process. If I truly want this end goal, whatever it is, there are changes and there's things that I'm going to have to make. There's a way that I'm going to have to show up that I'm currently not showing up in. So by the time you get that car, look back at what you just went through. Your process got better. Your faith got stronger.
whatever it is, like you're so focused on when you get it and how you get it that I wrote down this quote. The reason why most people fail is because they give up what they want most for what they want now.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, they give up what they want most for
Yeah.
what they want now, not realizing that what you want,
Girl.
that thing that you want now is
Mm-hmm.
not going to last you as long as what it is
Come
you want
on.
most,
Yes.
right? It just comes to a point where we have to realize, first of all, that we are worth what it is that we are desiring and
Absolutely.
what it is
That
that we
part.
want, right? That we are worth it, that we were born worthy. We were born, if because the Bible says in Jeremiah 2, I believe it is. No, it's not Jeremiah 2, it's Jeremiah 1. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. That means I already knew everything that you were going to do, everything that you were going to say, every lie you were going to tell, every come on, let's tell the truth. God didn't just know all the good stuff about us. God knew all the bad stuff about us and still created us, still formed us in the womb. That means we were already worthy. I talk
Yes.
about it in the book that I wrote, Before the Sperm Met the Egg. Literally, because before the sperm met the egg, we were already worthy.
Yes.
God just decided to allow the rest of the world to see our worth, which is why we are on earth as it is in heaven, right?
Right.
Because He already deemed us worthy. So when we
Absolutely.
realize that our worth is, we were born with it, then self-sabotage shouldn't even exist.
I think what it is too is that he made us worthy of what we desire, but he also equipped us with what was needed to get there. We have
Mhm.
everything that we need. It's just hard.
Yep.
It's just like you just don't want, for example, that workout example. Like we think that because we decided to go from point A to point B, that the decision was enough. I decided I'm going to lose 10 pounds. So, yep, I can do this. You go into it, and then you realize that it takes hard work. Like, it doesn't just pop up that way because you want it. And sometimes when you're letting go of trauma, you're letting go of different things like that, you feel like it's just going from point A to point B. It's like, oh, I'll just be healed and I'll be fine because I made this decision and I'm strong enough and blah, blah, blah. But it's like going from here, and it's like a pull. Like, right now, I even feel like this pull to get to where I want to be, the type of relationship that I
Mhm.
want, just figuring out my life with my career. It's like a pull. It's like a really slow pulling process. Sometimes you feel like you're doing really well, and sometimes you break down. And because that process is so hard for some people, they just jump ship. And they just say, you know what, I'm going to just sacrifice what I want most, and I'll just go for what I can get right now. 5 pounds is enough, 10 pounds is too much. And then what I realized too, for example, with working out, just because I just started really being consistent with it, is that when it starts to burn is when it starts to work.
Mhm. Mhm.
When it starts to burn, that's why they say you
Mhm.
feel that burn, good. Keep going, because that's how you know it's working. If you don't feel the burn and you don't feel nothing, you walk away from that workout like, whoo, that wasn't that bad. Whoo, that's
That's right.
okay. If ain't no smoke, there ain't no fire.
Yep.
If it was easy, you ain't gonna see nothing. So, sometimes I think we self-sabotage things because, like we said, we want to stay in control and we are running from that pain. We don't want that pain. We don't let the pain refine us when really that pain is there and God is saying, okay, feel that pain? Come on, good. It's working. It's working. Keep going. Come to me. I'll take that, I'll refresh you. I'll whatever. The pain might not go away right away, but you can get that refreshment. You can truly get that refuel of peace that passes all understanding, but you can't do that if you want it from it.
So back during the Lenten season, I think I did it every week before Easter. I did a series called Steal to Heal. And one of the things that we talked about is the fact that sometimes you hurt more during the healing process than you do the original injury because your bones and tissue and muscles and nerves, like everything else it's like it's coming new again, right?
Yeah.
And the thing about it is we have made pain such a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. There are some things. Pain hurts. There isn't a pain that feels good, right? But just because it doesn't feel good doesn't mean it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Any woman, even if you did not birth your baby, even if you had to have like a cesarean section, or even if you did have an epidural, there was a point before you got that epidural, there was a point before you had that C-section that you felt pain. Why? You had to feel pain to know that the process had started, right?
Yes.
Here we go. Going back to what you said. You said when we were on the phone that purpose is in the process, right?
So what happens is you get that pain to let you know, God, I thank you. I wasn't coming on here. Jennifer, shoot. That is so funny. So the irony of it is that there are two parts of it. So when a woman is about to give birth, you feel pain. You feel that contraction, right? That lets you know that process is about to take place. The purpose of your pregnancy is about to come forth, which is the baby, right? The flip side of it is when our bodies, when our systems are out of alignment, and I mean our physical bodies, we feel pain. When a person gets a headache, that lets them know that there is something going on in here. If you get a stomach ache, that lets you know that there was something that you did that was not in the right way, right? So there has to be pain. Pain is a presence. Pain is a presence. Because how else will you know if you don't have pain? Think about women who have been pregnant and didn't know, right? You know, you have those stories of women who were like 7 months pregnant, 8 months pregnant. They didn't know that they were pregnant until they felt what? A pain, right? You didn't know that you needed to go to the doctor, that anything was wrong until you what? Felt a pain. And so part of the reason that we self-sabotage is because we don't like to feel pain.
Yeah.
Pain is not bad. It's letting you know that either something is off or something is on, that something is right or something is wrong.
Why, girl? If you're dancing to the wrong rhythm, usually you'll kind of know. You know what I mean? And you'll kind of know, like, okay, I'm not really in the right space. You know what I mean? Like, I know this is what I wanted, and I know that it seems like this is what I wanted. Like, I'm a counterfeit a little bit sometimes, and it's like you go along with it for too long, and sometimes self-sabotage. Sometimes self-sabotage is when you're so excited that you're dancing that you'll dance to the wrong rhythm for too long.
It's a two-headed coin. Because are you dancing so that you can be validated or accepted by other people? You know you don't like that music. It's okay to stand on the wall till your song come on. If you don't want to dance, then don't dance.
Just don't do it. Absolutely.
So then the question becomes, why are you dancing? Right? If it's not even a song that you like.
Right.
You ain't got to dance. Set up a boundary. It's safe to set up a boundary.
Absolutely.
It's better to set up a boundary than to find that you've been dancing to this song for so long and it's not even the song that you wanted to dance to. Like, why accept the job if it's not what you want? Okay, yes, you need some money. Yes, you got to pay the bills. But don't you realize that you don't have to just, here it is, accept what is right now for what you want in the long run?
Yes.
You don't have to, because self-sabotage is also a matter of accepting things that you know are not good for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then who you go crying to? Your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your mama, your daddy, the Lord. Like, God, didn't nobody tell you to do that?
Nobody told you to. Nobody.
And then the other part of it is we will continue to self-sabotage until we acknowledge that we have wounds that have not healed.
Absolutely.
You're going to keep going. You're going to be on the merry-go-round. Not even the merry-go-round. You're going to be a hamster, just going and going and going.
You ain't going
and going
nowhere.
and going.
And you'll just keep going because at least I'm moving. At least I'm in control. At least I don't have to stop and think and deal and heal. Like that to me has been ways that I have self-sabotaged my absolute true healing. And you have to think about it. I think until you have the grit and the boldness to say, I did not make XYZ change or decide to make certain changes just to sit here. I did not choose to get up every day and work out just to half do the exercises and not really go all out and run away from the burn. I'm not waking up at 6 a.m. every day and working out just to go have a hamburger every night. After there's a moment where you say, you know what? I'm not going to pretend to do the work. I'm not going to skate through and do the work. I'm actually going to do it because I didn't make this decision to make these changes just to be here and just to go along with emotions. I need to have enough grit. I need to have enough trust in God and trust in myself that I can actually have what I desire and that I'm worthy of what I actually desire. Bring it, girl.
Two things. The first thing is when we self-sabotage, we are not in control.
We think we are.
Our feelings are in control. Our past is in control. Our hurt is in control. The trauma, don't kick me, Jen. Don't do that. I felt it right here. Don't do it. Everything else is in control but us. We're not in control.
Girl, I got to write that down. Hold on.
You're not in control when you think you are, but you're not in control when you self-sabotage. Everything else is. Because if you were in control, you would have put a hold on that thing. You would have stopped it before it even got started. And so it goes to show that you are not even in control of those things because you are letting them control you.
Girl.
Right?
Yes.
And then 9 times, let me see, not 9, maybe 7.5 times out of 10, part of those disappointments have to do with self-sabotage.
Most of them, yeah.
Sabotage too. Yeah, comfort is self-sabotage. So perfection, comparison, and comfort.
All of them.
Listen. And then you still wondering why everybody else is doing and being. Why they doing? Why you sitting on the bench?
Girl, why? That was it. I was totally sitting on the bench. Totally sitting. I think I had moments of going in, put me in, coach, put me in, okay, blah, 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 blah. But honestly, I had to be honest. I was like, I am not being consistent. My body could be totally different. My diet could be totally different because I started this journey 2-3 years ago. But it's not because I wasn't consistent. I stopped. I just fell into temptation. Jamie, very good point. Temptation gets in the way. I just couldn't. I just didn't want to get out of my routine. And I didn't want to. I was afraid of failing. I was afraid. Honestly, a lot of the reason why I was comfortable was because I was just afraid. I was afraid of failing. I was afraid to put my name out there and step out. I was afraid to, quit my job or whatever. I was afraid to do those things because it's like, well, what if I fail? That is such an uncomfortable space for me. I don't want to mess up. And you said something so good during our conversation. You said, if we numb ourselves to the pain, if we numb ourselves to discomfort, we're not truly living, we're only existing. And that's what I was. I was just existing.
I mean, when we numb ourselves, we're only existing. And John 10:10, Jesus said, I came that you would have life and that more abundantly. If I'm supposed to have the abundant life, I can't do that sitting on a bench.
No, you can't. Watching everybody else live their life.
And mad, just mad.
If you can't put your phone down, go do something. Yeah, absolutely.
Mad.
Absolutely. We've talked about a lot of different things with how self-sabotage can come. We talked about our mindset, that's running from the pain. We talked about comfort. So from your just expertise and from just, the people that you counseled or whatever, how can we bring this back? What are some things we can do? Or maybe just 1 or 2 action steps. If we feel like we're self-sabotaging, how can we turn that around? And you can take a moment, because I know I just kind of put that out. I just threw that in there, but I just felt...
No, it's okay. I like being able to be, I like being, just kind of thrown in the water to see how far you can swim.
Okay.
I think one of the best ways to bring that back around and kind of stop it before it goes too far. I actually have a T-shirt that says this: with every breath and with every blink, I am chosen.
Where's the T-shirt? Where can we?
On my Instagram bio,
Yeah.
I have is it the LinkedIn? That's not what it is. Linktree. I have a Linktree. Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. And under there is shirts, and and I believe that one is up. With every breath and every blink, I am chosen. And so we have to remind ourselves every single day that we are chosen. And it doesn't mean that you're going to wake up that next day and know exactly why, but it doesn't mean that you won't wake up that next day and not know exactly why, right?
Yes.
We have to be willing to put one foot in front of the other. We have to know that there are people, we are purposed not for ourselves, we are purposed for other people, right? We have to know that one of the best ways for us to not self-sabotage is to know that we're worthy.
Yeah.
God told Jeremiah, before I formed you, that's what it is because we don't think that we're worthy. I'm going to be 100 with you, and I know we live, so now everybody about to know, okay?
Keep it real.
To see me, to look at myself on my phone as I'm doing this, I am not satisfied with what I see. I'm going to keep it 100, okay?
Yeah.
I'm not satisfied with what I see. Now I know I'm in the heat and all this and all that, and I'm just like, kind of like, man, Rae, like, you could have showed up a little bit different. You knew you was going to, I started playing all of this stuff in my mind, right?
Yeah.
Mind you, I'm talking about self-sabotage and almost at the point of self-sabotaging. That's how slick and how cunning, not the enemy is, we ourselves.
Come on. Girl.
Ain't got nothing to do with the enemy. It has everything to do with us.
Absolutely.
And so I think we have to remember that we're chosen and that we're worthy of it. We are worthy of the abundant life. We are worthy of that exceeding abundantly above all. Here it is. The best way for us to stop self-sabotaging, I'm going to go straight to that text, Ephesians 3, I think it's 20, that God will do exceeding abundantly above.
I thought about that.
All we ask, think, or imagine. So we cannot receive exceeding abundantly above if we don't ask, if we don't think, if we don't imagine. So you can't expect God to do any big thing for you if your thoughts are below the earth.
Right.
If your thoughts are in the trash can, you can't expect to be living mountain high if your thoughts are below the valley.
I thought that very thought. The minute I got out of my car today, I thought about the same. This is such confirmation because you are absolutely right. Exceeding above all that we can ask and all that we think. The faith without works is dead. The works is in your head. If you are thinking this low, he can only go bare minimum. That's your above.
Hello.
That's your above. That's your exceeding. That's your exceeding. But if you can bring yourself up and do the work and meet God and let him meet your faith where you are. Your faith here? Oh, I want to blow your socks off then. Let's go over here.
Give me a reason. Give me a reason. And the thing about it is,
I'm so fired up right now.
You said a key word, if. I always like to say when, but for this, it is a matter of if. It's a matter of if we are going to want it bad enough that we're willing to change our thinking.
Yeah.
God brought an incredible. It is, but it's worth it. The thing about it is, it does not have to be as hard as we make it. It doesn't have to be as tedious as we make it. All we have to do is change our minds. Peter was in jail. I'm always here for a suddenly move. And the Bible says at midnight there was an earthquake.
Yeah.
And that earthquake came and it shook the jail doors open to the point that the guard was ready to kill himself because he thought that they were like, nah, bro, you ain't even got to do that. This was the Lord. I'm always here for it suddenly, right?
Right.
Proverbs 18:21 is my favorite
Oh my
scripture.
goodness.
Death and life are in the power of our tongue. So what I'm saying is going to be what I become. I wake up every morning, and among other things that I say I am transforming my day. I am doing it. And I do it based on what I say, based on how I interpret what I see, and based on what I think.
Wow.
If you can't get this together, then
it ain't gonna just happen.
It's here.
It ain't just gonna happen. Absolutely.
You got to change this. You have to change what it is you're seeing. What are you watching? Who are you watching?
There.
What are you listening to? Who are your friends? Who's pushing you?
That right there. I love it. Change your mindset. What I'm hearing too is change your atmosphere. Create the atmosphere for your, you know what I mean, for what you're looking for, your friends, what you're watching, what you're seeing, what you're hearing. And then also just ask. Really elevate your mindset so that you can ask and truly believe. And there's a difference between just asking and hoping that it happens. It's different when you ask and you have this backing that you feel behind you, like right in your gut. Like, I'm asking, but I'm knowing. I'm asking, but I'm knowing. Like, more than anything, I love that moment when you know what, this hasn't happened yet. And I'm going to ask for it, but I'm asking because I already know. Like, I know that 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 this can happen for me, and I know that it will.
There are often times that I use this example with the congregation. If you have a closed fist, there is nothing that can get in here. Nothing can get inside of this closed fist. So if you are handing me something, right? If you say, here, Rae, I have something for you, and I don't open up my hand, I can't receive what it is that you are giving me. So it makes sense that when I ask with an open heart, I can get it. When you ask with an open heart, when you ask with an open mind, when you ask with open hands, without this fear of being hurt.
I'm afraid to take something.
Pain, right? Pain is present. So what if you get hurt? That means you're alive, that you're not existing. So what if you fail? That means that you are alive.
Wow.
If you don't fail, then how do you know where to improve? And we look at failure as such a bad thing. Failure is not bad. It just means that you forgot to dot an I or cross a T.
Exactly.
Go back and do it.
It's a learn. So I have to get out of that. That's my ask everybody to share one thing that they're going to do to stop self-sabotage with themselves. So I'm going to stop being afraid of doing something wrong. I'm going to stop being afraid of failure. I'm going to stop being afraid to say, you know what, that wasn't really the best decision, or I messed up, or even asking for that, hey, can you observe and just see this is what I'm going through? Tell me, let me get another set of eyes. Let me get another set of ears. I don't know everything. Let me learn something new. Let me get somebody else's perspective, because I can look through my one lens, but not everybody else in this world is looking through my two eyes. Everything's not about me. So I want to know what can I do to do better, and that's my self-sabotage, thing. I'm committed to not being afraid to fail, and I'm committed to elevating my mindset. I gotta elevate my mind. What about you? Go ahead.
I am committed to just continually thinking differently, right? Just continually, and I mean continually thinking differently, thinking higher, right? Because when you think higher, you can be higher. If you're thinking low, you're going to be low. But when I think higher, I can be higher. And and to just be in this place of what I'll say surrender, just to relax, right? Like, just relax, chill out, wind and chill. Just chill out.
Girl.
Just chill out. Like, let God be God. You're not God.
Yeah.
Let
Oh
God
my
do that.
goodness. I don't know about you, but this was much needed. This was much needed. If you're watching this on playback, or if you happen to watch this on YouTube or whatever, if you're comfortable, share in the comments just one thing that you're going to try to do to stop self-sabotage, because I feel like we all do it in some way. And if there's ways that we can create a community where there's not judgment or what have you, and we can all help each other, then that'd be great. So you guys leave that in the comments. Miss Rae
Yes,
Karim,
ma'am.
thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. I love you. First of all, fun fact, I've known Rae since I was like 4. In GI, in Gary, Indiana, all the
Listen.
way back. And it was just so good to see your face, and what you're doing
Yes.
is so amazing. And I hope one day you
Thank
come
you
back
so much.
soon. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. I speak just
Bye.
blessings and good things over
Bye,
everybody.
bye, bye.
You all have a good night, and we'll catch you soon.
Peace.
Bye.